Once you've made that decision, you can pull out your final card for negotiations. Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel where we talk about tech topics in under however many minutes we want to. This week we're going to go over how to negotiate a job offer. Before we get started, I just want to say that I've received a lot of feedback from users that say that the 5-minute format is cool, but it's not providing as much value as they're hoping to see out of these videos because it's just too short. So from now on, I have decided to get rid of the 5-minute format, and I will just be talking about all the stuff that I think will be helpful for the video, and I'll be including everything that I think will be helpful. Hopefully this means that users are able to get more out of this channel and they're able to get a lot more content out of each video. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's say you have watched this helpful video over here about how to land a job offer and you have received an official job offer from your recruiter. Congratulations, but how do you maximize your earning potential? First, let's just get something out of the way right off the bat. There's this stigma that companies might rescind your offer, or they might not like you as much or look down on you if you try and negotiate your job offer, which I can completely tell you is false. In fact, companies will respect you a lot more if you do try and negotiate your offer because it shows that you're a strong candidate who has done the research into the role that you are about to take on and how you should be fairly compensated for that role. Second, there's a mantra that I like to live by, which is, what does it hurt to try? A company is not going to rescind your offer and they're not going to give you a lower offer if you try and negotiate. So the worst case is that you're in exactly the same position as you would have been if you didn't negotiate at all. And the best case is that you get some extra. You get the point. So now that we've established that negotiating is a good thing, how exactly should we negotiate? Well, the most important part of any negotiation is being willing to walk away. If you're willing to walk away, then you have leverage. And if you're not willing to walk away, then you have no leverage. And companies know this. And you're not going to be willing to walk away from a job offer if it's the only job offer that you have. So try as best as you can to get as many job offers as possible around the same time. Once you have multiple job offers, you want to do what we call the good old runaround. You want to play them off of one another. Say company A is offering you a base salary that is $10,000 less than what company B is offering. At this point, you should email the recruiter from company A and let them know that their base salary is a little bit on the lower side and ask them whether or not they have any flexibility in the matter. You don't need to tell them how much lower their package is. In fact, in negotiations, you want to avoid saying numbers as much as possible. But at this point, the recruiter will probably let you know that they'll need to talk to the hiring manager or they'll need to talk to the compensation team and ask if it's possible. Of course, this is pretty standard talk for, I want to pretend that this is something that's difficult to do when it's really not. Recruiters usually have quite a bit of leeway that they can go up to in negotiations, and only for extraordinary offers do they need to talk to director level or above. Once company A comes back with a higher offer, let company B know that A has upped their offer and ask them whether or not they'd be willing to match or exceed it. Do this a few different times where you're playing the different companies off of one another. Most companies are serious about landing good talent, so they'll be willing to negotiate. Think about it from the perspective of the company. They have to spend a lot of money trying to recruit, interview, and vet candidates, so they would rather throw a few thousand extra dollars at you than have to go through that entire process again. Of course, there will be a point where companies are no longer willing to negotiate. And at this point, you know that you have reached their almost max. Now, you have to make a decision about which job that you are going to take. Once you've made that decision, you can pull out your final card for negotiations. Send an email to the recruiter and let them know that you love the company and you really want to join. You love the mission, the culture, the product, whatever. And be sincere, actually want to join the company. However, let them know that you will be willing to sign that very day if they're willing to increase X by some amount. For example, you will be willing to sign the offer that very day if they can increase your sign-on bonus by $5,000. Most recruiters will do it for the guarantee of you signing and an end to this recruitment process. Of course, you can only do this for one company. Don't guarantee companies that you will sign if you have no intention of signing with them, so don't do this for multiple companies. Reneging on a company is actually pretty bad and can have pretty severe consequences for your career down the line, especially in an industry like tech where the tech world is so small. Don't do it, kids. Just don't do it. Now, if you don't have multiple offers, like myself, most of the advice here still applies. You can still negotiate, but instead of playing companies off of one another, do your research into what comparable jobs at your level and location are paying. Do your research on levels.fyi or the app Blind and just kind of get a gauge for the offers that are being thrown out. Let the company know. hey, I love that you're offering me X amount for the base salary and I'm really appreciative of the offer, but from all the research that I've done, it shows that the industry usually pays 1.3 times X. Would you be willing to negotiate? Of course, you can do this a few different times back and forth where you go over base, stock, sign-on, but the important part is that you're asking for more and you're providing proof as to why you deserve more, which is that the rest of the industry is giving this much. Of course, do not let the company know that you don't have a competing offer, because once they know, you have lost all of your leverage. And of course, you can use the same trick as above where you say that I will sign today if you can add on X amount to my sign-on or my base, whatever. Usually this trick works the best for the sign-on bonus because it is a one-time cost for the company, whereas the base salary increase would be over multiple years. I have personally used this trick, not for myself, but for a friend, where I wrote an email for them and they sent it to the recruiter saying, I will sign today if you can give me an extra $10,000 in sign-on bonus. That very day, the recruiter came back with an offer and said, here is an extra $10,000, sign today, please. That's all it took, just a simple email. There you have it, guys, my tips on how to negotiate a job offer, whether you have multiple job offers or just one. A few important things to note though. 1, some recruiters will ask to see your competing offers. I would say don't do it. You're under no obligation to show them any of your competing offers. Of course, there are circumstances where they'll be unwilling to budge unless you show them your offers, in which case it might make sense to show them the offer. But for most parts and for most of negotiations, you want to try and withhold as much information as possible. So for the most part, I would say don't do it. Second, don't lie during negotiations. Don't tell company A that company B is offering you like $50,000 more in base salary than company A in the hopes that A will give you a better package. A will usually have a pretty good idea about what B is offering, so they'll most likely know if you're lying. And just as a matter of principle, your word should be important, so just don't lie in general. Third, be realistic when you're negotiating. Don't try and negotiate for a senior software engineer salary when you're an entry-level new grad. And also don't try and negotiate for an SF salary when you might be in Seattle. Just make sure that you stay realistic in your asks. And last, you can negotiate for more than just monetary value. For example, you can ask the recruiter for more PTO, or you can ask to work from home permanently. Everything is up in the air, even if the recruiter says it's not. Everything is up in the air for negotiation. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for this week. Those are my tips on how to negotiate your job offer. Hopefully those are helpful to you guys. Let me know what you guys think about the new format where I kind of just talk about everything that I want to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did making this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below with your tips on how to negotiate a job offer, and follow me on social media.